We use sentence variety to avoid flatness and to make our piece of writing more interesting. Hello guys! It's great to see you again in English Made Possible. One of the best ways to create a good impression of your writing is to apply the technique of sentence variety. You can use a variety of sentence structures to make your piece of writing more meaningful in order to hook the reader's attention. You can use different types of sentences. For example,
it was raining heavily. It was raining cats and dogs. I heard heavy rain pouring on my rooftop.
The next sentence, the sun was shining. You can add values to the sentence by writing this way.
The sun was shining brightly. The sun was scorching hot. The sun was ascending to the sky.
Now, look at this sentence. The wind was blowing. Not just that, you can use other interesting elements to describe the wind.
The wind was howling. The wind was sighing and thrashing. It was windy and breezy. I heard the roaring of the wind.
Let's look at the next sentence. She was happy. The sentence is too loose. The reason for her happiness was not mentioned. You may indicate why was she happy. For example,
she was delighted to hear the good news. She was over the moon when she heard the glad tidings.
Now, let's have a look at the next sentence. Adam was sad. Is that all? Why was Adam feeling sad? You may state the reason. For example,
Adam was upset for his loss in the chess tournament. Adam was down in the dumps for his loss in the chess tournament.
There's one more sentence here. The workers were angry. What makes them angry? You may form a better sentence.
The workers were annoyed when their salary was deducted. The workers lost temper when they were not paid enough.
Another element of sentence variety is you can create longer sentences instead of series of short sentences like this.
James was playing online games. It was late at night. He suddenly heard a strange noise. The sound came from his neighbor's house.
A long series of short sentences will make your writing jerky and choppy. You can combine the short sentences and you can form only one long sentence.
James was playing online games in the middle of the night when he suddenly heard a strange noise from his neighbor's house.
For the next example,
I was cycling home from school. The weather was very hot. I saw thick black smoke. The smoke was coming from a row of shops by the roadside. When I was cycling home from school on such a humid day, I saw thick black smoke coming from a row of shops by the roadside.
Next, you can use vivid words in your writing. Some words are too common, so you can use other words to replace them. For example,
we enjoy walking on the beach. We enjoy strolling on the beach. She walked to the park with a sad look on her face. She wandered to the park in sorrow. Louis ran to the toilet because he had a stomach ache. Louis dashed to the toilet because his stomach was grumbling.
You can also use idiomatic pairs in your essay to emphasize and to enhance the quality of your writing. The first idiomatic pair which I am going to share with you is hustle and bustle, which means a busy situation.
They traveled to an island to get away from the hustle and bustle of city life.
For the next idiomatic pair is safe and sound, which means feeling safe and healthy. This is the example of the sentence.
The movement control order was enforced so that everyone can stay at home safe and sound.
The next one, leaps and bounds, which means to show a fast or a rapid progress of something. For example,
his business is still growing by leaps and bounds in this time of pandemic.
now we move on to thick and thin. What's the meaning of thick and thin? It means good and bad times. Let's look at the example of the sentence.
Ali is a true friend who supports me through thick and thin.
And one more idiomatic pair which I'm going to share with you is loud and clear, which means something which is very clearly stated. For example,
It is loud and clear that wearing a face mask is mandatory.
besides that, you can also use sentences with different beginnings. The first example, you can use verb part as an opener. For example,
I was awakened by the knocks on the door. I could not go back to sleep.
you can change the structure this way.
Awakened by the knocks on the door, I could not go back to sleep.
Annie was terrified by the sound of the howling wind. She rushed back to her dormitory. Terrified by the sound of the howling wind, Annie rushed back to her dormitory.
For the next one, you can use the ing opener.
She smiled with joy. She ran towards her mother and hugged her. Smiling with joy, she ran towards her mother and hugged her.
The second example is
He trembled with fear. He escaped from the kidnappers. Trembling with fear, he escaped from the kidnappers.
And my final tip for today, you can also use the infinitive as an opener.
To pass with flying colors, you must put a lot of effort in your studies. To travel far and wide, we must start saving our money. To offer a helping hand to the poor is a noble deed. To judge someone based on appearance is not a good thing to do.
Well guys, that's all for today. I hope you'll be able to apply all the techniques of sentence variety in your essays after this. I wish you all the best and hope to see you again in English Made Possible with me, Teacher M. If you enjoyed the lesson, please click the like button and do subscribe to my channel for more interesting lessons.